linebackers coach Keith Heyward after a physical scrimmage. He's here to tell you a little bit about it. Go ahead if you have questions in the chat. Go ahead and let me know in the chat by posting that you would like to ask a question. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started with Jeff Ferrato from Cal Sports Report.
Keith, how you doing?
I'm great, Jeff. How you doing?
I'm fine. Just give us the sense of kind of what you saw today and what some of the highlights were from your point of view.
Yeah, so practice a lot of situations today with some full tackling to the ground. So just what I saw, just really tough defense out there, and it was some plays that went back. Offense won some plays as well. But for both sides of the ball to, capitalize and win in the situations. And then some tackling is always things to work on, but just bouncing in and out of our groups on our defensive personnel and just playing like out in the field, playing in the red zone, getting guys aware of the situations. And like I said, offense won some plays and the defense won some plays on third and fourth down. So it was good to see both sides competing.
And I believe this was your 10th of 15 spring practices. Does it feel like you're getting done what you guys want to get achieved? And does it feel like it's going by in a hurry?
Yeah, I for sure. I know we're getting done what we want to get achieved. Creating some depth and growing some guys at certain positions. It is going by fast as well. When you're doing 4 practices a week and ending the week with a scrimmage. Just thankful that we're able to, be able to play right now and have all of our guys compete, learn. I was talking to my guys about, just being disciplined, because discipline is the bridge between, our goals and where we want to go. We just got to be disciplined with our alignments and our keys. So, yeah, I think we're getting a lot done. Obviously we have 4 more opportunities next week.
And among the guys at your position, who's jumping out for you right now?
Oh, they're all, I mean, it would be unfair to ask me who's jumping out. I think they're all doing a good job, and every day is a day for us to learn. Whether that's something about a particular defense, a technique, and then like today was a bunch of different situations where I talked to the guys about, like, we have to make sure that we're more situationally aware of formations, backfield alignments, down and distances, field positions. So everybody's growing.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll go to Trace Travers from Rivals.
Good afternoon, Coach. One thing that we've seen is you guys have a lot of guys at the outside linebacker position who could ostensibly play, start, have a big role. How are you kind of divvying things up at this moment?
Right now, we just have groups, certain periods is, first group, second group, third group. And then today in some of those plays, I kind of mixed up, who I felt was had better strengths in some of those situations, whether that be a rundown or a pass down. So that's how I've been approaching it, and how I've been approaching it thus far. Just, Coach Wilcox sets the racks of, how many, groups we're going to have, and just rolling guys through and letting them play ball.
And with that, you have a handful of younger guys. Coach Sermon talked about Patrick Hisitake yesterday. How is he doing in the early going, especially as being a bigger outside linebacker?
Yeah, Patrick is doing well. Being a mid-year and, just trying to figure out everything, not just on the football field, but figure out how to, operate in life in the classroom or virtual classroom. So, he's doing well. When you come in as a freshman, you're trying to learn a lot of different things, just the football school is what I like to call it, because not only does he have to learn the defense, but he has to learn, how we label and call the offense, what 11 personnel, 12 personnel is, and what does that mean? What are the differences? And also just our defensive packages, like how is it going to differ from our, base package to when we're in our nickel package.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Jim Mcgill from Bear Insider.
Hey, Coach, the running back core looked really sharp today. What are your thoughts on them?
Yeah, there's some things. I think we got some really good running backs, and there are some runs that I haven't watched the film yet, but some runs that Coach Browning and I, when we were walking off the field, we were talking about like we got to see what happened there. But yeah, like I said, both sides were battling, and some runs went, and then we made some plays in some other situations. So, but I think that our running back crew is a pretty solid one. Coach AT does a great job with those guys.
And last season, the linebacking core had to play behind a very depleted defensive line, but they seem to have some more viable and big bodies playing in front of you guys this year. What are you seeing at the point of attack up ahead of your linebacking core?
I mean, Coach Browning, like we do our walkthroughs and everything. He's making sure those guys are aligned first, and then playing with great technique. I mean, to be honest with you, I've been focused on my two edge guys, but in front of us, those guys do a great job as far as playing technique and everything. So, yeah, that's what I got there for you, Jim.
You probably didn't get a chance to see much film on Oren last year yet, but he seems to be a guy that's bigger and stronger and taking a step forward. What are you seeing from him this spring?
Yeah, Oren's been doing a good job just getting comfortable with the defense, elite pass rushing ability, dropping in coverage, and setting edges. So I'm pleased with him and everything that he's done, and from where I hear how he's growing so far.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll go to Max Franke from Bear Insider.
Hey, Coach, can you talk about the transition from Las Vegas to Berkeley and the difference in terms of the athleticism and skills of the players?
Las Vegas.
yeah,
Max, you might want to talk to Coach Trey Watson about Las Vegas to Berkeley, man.
Yeah, got the wrong guy there, Max.
Eugene.
He's from Oregon most
Out of
recently.
it.
Same question probably still applies if you want to ask about compared to Oregon.
Compared to Oregon, I'm sorry.
So, all right, what do you want me to answer in that again? Sorry, give it to me again, Max. We get a redo.
Yeah, so what's it like the transition from Oregon to Berkeley? Sorry about that, Coach Heyward.
That's all right. We want to talk about the town, the players.
Well, yeah, you can talk about the town and
Yeah, well, big thing, you notice when you come here, obviously, for me, I'm in California, Berkeley, it's a great town. So was Eugene, differences, cost of living, but great places to be at, with both programs. Different places. I was talking to this about Coach Wilcox is just like, man, Eugene is a great place, but so is Berkeley, just every place has, trade-offs per se. My transition was great. I've been fortunate to, have friends on the staff and, Coach Sermon, Coach Wilcox teaching me this defense and just getting out here. I'll be doing a lot better when I'm able to get my wife and my two daughters, so we can all unite. But transition has been really good.
Yeah, and how do you think about the outside linebackers in particular? Like, how do they compare to Oregon?
Great players there at Oregon, but I'm really excited about my group that I have here with Katie, Cam, Oren, Braxton, those guys, and developing a Patrick Hisitake and Miles Jernigan. And I'm excited about the freshman crew that we signed as well. So, two talented groups. And I think, coaching either one of them, Coach DeRuiter coaching them up there and me coaching down here, we're blessed to have the young men that we're able to coach.
Yeah, and between Pastor and Onzalatos, do you see those two competing a lot for the weak side?
Pastor's been playing inside right now, and I'm not the other name you mentioned.
Onzalatos, Blake Onzalatos.
Blake. Oh yeah, the inside backers.
Yeah, both inside.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, we'll go to Jackson Moore from 24/7.
Coach, just speaking about Trey, could you share some of your background with him and what it's been like to work with him again?
Yeah, Trey. So Trey was a walk-on for me back at the University of Washington. Really tough, gritty player. Just he has a tremendous story. You guys get that from him, but he was a walk-on that, showed up and wasn't even on the team, but he just kept showing up, and it's like, let's give this guy a chance. And shoot, what season was that? I can't remember if that was 11 or 12. The next thing you know, he's out there starting for us out in Baton Rouge, locking down Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham. Again, changed quickly when they started to run the ball, but no, he's a smart, smart dude. That's why he's extended to this level as fast as he did, and it was great working with him at Oregon. He was my GA for 2 years, and worked with the corners and the safeties in both of those groups, and obviously done a great job and has history with myself, Coach Wilcox, and Coach Sermon. So we're excited to have him, and I just look forward to seeing him and continue to grow and helping him any way I can.
And a separate question regarding the star position, how has that been going? Have you been able to give some kind of new perspective to some of these guys with their DB background, and any players establishing themselves as potential for that role?
Yeah, well, I say in the star position, there's a lot of guys who could play that. So when we're in our Okie group, it comes out of my room. We're in nickel, it's coming out of the DB room. I'm pretty much, when I've been touching it so far, it's just really been when we're in our base group. But obviously being a secondary guy, that has been my strength and where a lot of my knowledge comes from. But I've been really diving into the run game and setting edges and playing the techniques at a 5 technique and a 9 technique. So, but when we do drop in coverage, we got that.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Trace Travers from Rivals.
Yeah, you mentioned some of the freshmen who haven't gotten here yet as guys you're looking forward to working with. What has your communication kind of been like with those guys? Like, let's see, I guess Caleb, Yele, and all those guys.
So I talked to Caleb, I think just like once, and I just kind of left it as it was. Coach Browning's been communicating with them. I'm sorry, I talked to Caleb a few times. Yele Moore, I would let that with Coach Browning. Who is it? Moses reaches out to me a lot. I think Moses is just a great kid, and he's always wanted to jump on Zoom. I kind of let those relationships, stay where they are. And then if they fall into my room, which I think a couple of those guys will fall into my room, I'll pick up that communication. But those guys are in school and doing Zoom and, trying to handle their classwork. So just let them focus on that right now.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, anybody with a final question for Coach Heyward? Give you 5 seconds here to put it in the chat if you do. It doesn't look like we have any further questions.